Hello guys, in this tutorial we'll get started with object-oriented programming. First, let me just remove this from the project tutorial 2 and add a new item, and that can be named tutorial3.cpp. And I'm uploading all these in the resources so that you can easily see the code in case you make any mistake or if you're getting an error. Okay, using namespace std and our main function. Now, let's discuss classes. Classes are the most basic thing in object-oriented programming. Classes help us make everything more organized, and that is the basic goal behind object-oriented programming. So, for example, you want to store the details of a rectangle. You can make a class for that. For example, your class would be called rectangle, and this would be its body. Note how classes end with a semicolon and normal function bodies, etc. don't. Okay, now inside our class, we would have an access specifier. We will discuss what access specifiers are in a while. Access specifier, then some variables and functions under that access specifier, and then there could be an other access specifier, and then it would have some variables and functions as well. Now let's see what these are and how they work. Now, the two types of access specifiers that we'll be discussing in this tutorial are private and public. However, there are other access specifiers as well, that is protected access specifier, but we won't be discussing that in this tutorial. Okay, so first let's discuss private. All the private attributes of a class would only be accessible within the class and nowhere else. For example, if I declare a variable over here, I'm declaring x inside the private and as public. So, and when I want to make an object for the rectangle in the main, I'll simply write rectangle and then the name of the object. Alright, now when you want to access these variables, anything inside a class, you use a dot operator. Let's see how that works. First, you write the name of the variable, then use the dot operator, and you can access file like this. You could set it equal to anything or just like use it just like a regular variable. Now, let's see rec.y worked. However, if I want to use rec.x, I can not do that because x is a private variable. All right, now let's make our rectangle class and remove this. Our rectangle would have a width and a height, right? So let's add those over here. You could add them in the public section as well, but then we'll be losing the point of object-oriented programming. We'll later discuss why we don't do that and why we use all of this in the private access specifier. Then we would need a function to set the width and the height of our rectangle. So we could make a set attributes function. Now this needs to be public because we will have to set those attributes from the main. So this needs to be public. It's all right if you're a little confused right now. These things will start to clear up. Now int width and int height, and I can set width equals w and height equals h. Now over here I can set the attributes for my rectangle. Sorry, rec.set attributes, and I can set the width equal to 5 and height equal to 10. Alright, now we want to be able to calculate the area for our rectangles. So let's make an int function calculate area. Now this would simply return width into height. Alright, sorry, width into height. Now let's see out this. See out rect dot calculate area. And let's see if our output is correct. Our project is building, and in our console window, we can see that our output is 50, which is correct. Okay, now let's create another rectangle, or let's not do that. Now, if I move this calculate area function to the private section of the code, this would no longer be usable. This gives an error because the calculate area is not accessible outside the rectangle class. It can only be used inside other functions which are present inside the rectangle class. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll further look into classes and we'll look into more features and we'll see how they help us in real world projects. Thank you for watching.